Hello all. Today we're out at my family property. My family property is the Murphy property. Our family in total owns about 100 acres of property out here in the middle of the Francis Marion. So we're kind of isolated out here, which we like. Don't like having a lot of people around. Some of my cousins and aunts, uncles live out on the property. None of my siblings currently live out here. Between me, my sister, two sisters, and brother, we own about 40 of that 100 acres. We've got about 32 acres of swamp property. We have about 7.5 acres of highland property. Back in the day, my dad built a cabin here. If we what we plan to do today is kind of take a look at where the cabin is, look at some of the other things that we've kind of referenced in some of the other videos that we've had, and we'll post a link to some of those here.
Yeah, I'll put them down in the description, the links to those, because he's been working over the past year trying to get it where you can visit them and enjoy it.
Well, making it accessible. It wasn't very accessible
No.
before because the road back here was bad.
Yeah.
And it was just really difficult. Some trees in the way, so we had to cut some trees. The property was pretty grown up, so I bush hogged a good bit, trying to get it at least again accessible. My goal for 2024 will be not just to make it accessible, but to make some of the things that were bad, make them better. The house needs some work, especially with the porch. The main part of the little cabin that Daddy had built is in pretty good shape. The porch, not so much. He used like heart pine, fat pine wood to make the porch with, and it's starting to rot. Look over here. Starting to come apart, so it looks pretty flimsy. But if you look up at the roof structure is fine. The house is fine. So long term, we intend to try to lift the roof a shade, prop the roof, and then kind of rebuild this porch section. Dad, at the time when he built this, he had a lot of lumber. After Hugo, he and I ran a sawmill for about a year or so, and we cut up a lot of the trees that were down from Hugo, pines and oaks and all kind of hardwoods, softwoods, strange stuff. We'd cut maples and sweet gums and whatever Dad decided he wanted to cut, we'd cut. A lot of cedar and cypress as well. But these wide boards you see here, that's some of the heart pine that he had cut. Good for inside use, and not so great for outside use. And maybe if we'd have done a better job of taking care of it, it would have lasted a little longer. But the intent would be to make some pretty significant repairs to this. The whole frame structure is pretty much gone. Even some rot close to the house, and hope it's not too bad there. That we can scrape it down and get all the bad part of it and out of it, and make it livable. But that's kind of the plan here for short term. Now that I'm retired, I got time to work on some of this stuff that I've never had time to do before. So things have kind of been neglected, but now it's time to make it right. Not sure anybody want to live in the cabin at all, but at least we want to make it an option that somebody could maybe camp out in it anyway.
I'm going to take a look inside. Hoping I don't fall through these wood.
It's kind of a mess.
Get the opening there. Yep.
Inside, we got to clean out all the junk. We got a lot of old furniture in here that was discarded. I know some of this came out of my mom's house, the green furniture here. Not sure where that came from.
Yeah, seen better days.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, the old wood stove here, that was actually in my mom's house. She didn't specifically use it to cook on, but in the wintertime when we were using it for heat, she would do some cooking on that. It's got a nice oven and all that. It's in a little bit rough shape now.
Could be cleaned up.
Could be cleaned up, and we can get it to where it's at least serviceable for burning, for heat anyway.
See the old bird's nest?
Yeah, probably a Carolina wren.
And over there, is that the way? That's the top of it.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get over there to it.
Yeah, it's got like a warmer inside storage. Got a trail cam here, and I guess that belongs to one of my cousins.
Yeah, look like they may have sat there on that
they
chair.
were sitting for hogs or deer back here on the property.
That there, and that from your grandma?
That was from my grandmother Murphy's house. So my Aunt Janie wants that, so I'll end up trying to take that to her, let her know when we're trying to move stuff out, and we can. I'll take it down to her. Might have to get some help because that looks like it might be a little heavy.
And this over here.
This one over here, I was thinking, another bird nest.
It's another bird nest right there.
I was thinking this was from my grandmother Falk's house, but I've been told that's not the case. That was from my grandmother Murphy's house, and my grandmother Falk had one that's very similar to that. So apparently it was different. So, but I'm not sure what we'll end up doing with this.
I wonder if your Aunt Janie would want that one too.
She did not talk as if she wanted that one.
Okay.
So, but the other piece she does want.
Well, nobody wants it. Hang on to it, and we'll clean it up and see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Because I kind of like that.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have this here because it's got the full-length mirror right there. I think that's pretty cool. I've never seen one like that before.
It's like a makeup table.
Well, makeup and dressing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Could probably take the stuff off of here and redo it.
Laminate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
I'm not sure I'd want to sleep on this bed.
Nope.
This old iron bed, I'm sure it's an antique. It could be sanded down, cleaned up, repainted, and the bed frame itself is probably good. The bed, the mattress, box spring, not so much.
Nope.
If you
you got the front door too.
That's the back door.
That's the back door?
That's the back door.
Oh yeah, that's the back door.
Yeah. But that's probably the one I'll end up moving stuff out of because
it's
still good and solid back here.
It is solid.
So I'll probably end up moving stuff out back through this back door.
Yep.
One thing with the ceiling, Dad had put some sheetrock up here, but apparently it's not held up very well due to the moisture.
Yeah.
I'm sure with this window or vent over here on the side, I'm sure it was it lets in water. So I probably need to make a true vent there, and so it doesn't leak anymore. I've had to patch the roof a couple of times in here as well. With we've had some limbs. I don't know whether you saw the big trees that are outside, but we've had some limbs fall out and punch holes in the roof at various times. So I had to repair one on the porch this year, but I had to repair one in the on the main roof probably 3 years ago, where an oak limb had fell through it.
Okay, so let's go walking out there. This is starting to give me the heebie-jeebies. back when Greg's father was alive, and even before then, this area that you see trees used to be an open field. And with Greg working, going to school, and then working out of town, this is what it's kind of end up with. You know, you can't do everything. So, but, got a lot of pine trees growing in here.
Yep. This is
Greg is going to insert a picture of what it looked like beforehand.
This is what 20 years of growth to do. I pretty much I think it was 2004, we had moved and I was in school, and so at that point I kind of wasn't able to take care of the place, even as far as bush hogging or plowing it to keep the fields up. And this is truly what 20 years has done. I mean, some of these trees are, 15 inches in diameter. I mean, they're big. So must have been pretty fertile soil from where my dad would plant to make those trees grow so fast. I mean, literally within, I think it was 3 or 4 years, the trees had gotten too big that I couldn't even run over them with the bush hog. So the path you see right here was my attempt to do that. Anything I could ride down with the bush hog, with the tractor, I would try to cut with the bush hog, and that pretty much was the beginning of the end from a bush hog, because it beat it all to pieces. And so we maybe one day we'll get it back as at least portion of it in the field, but we probably had in the whole 100 acres, probably 40 to 50 acres of it was plantable fields. And my dad would do corn, soybeans, and different things. We'd plant some of our garden stuff back here in large quantities. So, but time moves on, even if we don't want it to. So here's what we got.
Yep. A nice area. Yeah, they got a huge. That water looks almost kind of
Spring water.
a spring water. I wonder if there's still fish in it.
I'm sure there's some fish in here.
We need to bring our fishing poles over here. See if there's any. There used to be an old dock right there, right?
Yeah. I was thinking about using those aluminum deck things I got from your dad to possibly
Build a dock.
rebuild the dock here. I could put 2 of them together, and it'd be pretty good. It's 3 pieces. So.
Yeah, we have to get in that water to.
Yeah. But me or you won.
No. There'd be snakes and possible alligators in that thing.
I've swam in this pond before. So not recently. But,
not me. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
So, yeah, I would like to clean up around the edges of the pond where the crepe myrtle or the wax myrtles are hanging down in the water.
Yeah.
Take some of those out. Get those out of here. Just open it up where you can see it a little bit better. It's probably
Be able to walk all the way around it.
yeah, it's probably a 1/4 acre pond.
Did your dad build this?
Yeah.
He dug this out?
He had it dug when back the same time he built up the road that we come in on. He had Jamie dig the pond. He kind of created a duck pond back here, which is kind of he dammed off an area, and we can possibly walk that at some point, maybe today or maybe later. But he had created like a drainable duck pond where he could plant it in the summertime when it was dry. He'd just let all the water drain out of it, plant crops for the ducks, and then flood it. So the ducks would have something to eat when it came duck season. It would attract them in. It's legal to bait ducks that way. You can't just take corn and throw it out and bait ducks to shoot over them. But if you plant stuff and then flood it, that's legal to do, and that's what he was trying to get set up. Never did really accomplish it because he had passed right not too long after he had got that created, and it never really worked out. He tried it 1 year, and I think the weather conditions weren't right, so it didn't really work out. Didn't have enough rain to fill the pond. But yeah, this is spring fed. That's some of the same springs that feed the creek that is in the back, the Nicholson Creek back here. So.
While you were talking, right in the middle there, going to that wax myrtle that has lost its leaves there, there was something swimming under the surface because you could see the wake from it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you, but it looked like it could have been a decent size something or other.
It very well could be. I'm sure there's
Probably
brim
some
and
bass.
stuff like that. It used to be Daddy had some bass in here. He had brim for sure. I'm not sure whether he dropped some catfish in here or not. But there's been so many floods that have put water from the creeks in here and washed water through here. I'm not sure what remains from what used to be stocked in here and what has kind of made their way in here. But I guarantee there's fish here. It's just a question of what kind.
Yep. We'll have to
find out.
Now on this side is the swamp area, and on this side is the higher area. This used to be all field.
Yep.
So you're walking towards the back now.
My cousin's attempting a tree stand.
Yeah.
Used to be in better shape.
Oh my. You see the water down there in the swamp? It's quiet. I like how open this part is.
I'm not sure how well you can be able to see it.
Oh, I see it on the other side. I don't think you'd be able to pick it up on this GoPro.
What we have out here is the old footbridge that my dad had made. He had a bunch of treated 2x8s, 10s, 12, something like that. It was some stuff that we had cut when we had the sawmill. He'd gotten some old light poles from Santee Cooper that they were discarding, and we hauled them and cut them on the sawmill. So he had plenty of the treated lumber to use. So a lot of it is still here. A good bit of it got washed away in the 1,000-year flood that we had 3 years ago, maybe. I can't remember exactly when it was, but it washed a lot of it away. But he had it where even with the water high like it is right now, it would come all the way out here, and you could still walk across the creek even in this flat area. So,
Yeah, you can see we're sticking up right there. A piece of it.
yeah, there's still pieces of post left here and there. Some of the boards are left. Some of them got swept downstream. I see one
Is that one right there?
Yeah, there's one right over here that got swept downstream
That's
a ways.
right there.
Not sure if it's still usable, but hey, I'd try to collect it and see what I can
Hey,
use.
at least
out
it's
of it.
not in the water.
Yeah, yeah. But that's another one that I'd like to rebuild the footbridge to be able to get to the other side of the property. So
You gotta wait for it to dry out
yeah,
again.
you I know you won't be able to see it on the camera, but I can see the old tree stand that we had built on the other side back
You
there.
see it? It's right,
So
right there.
yeah. So doubt that it's still usable, but
Yeah. Suddenly got thick on us. You're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. Got a lot. We go. Oh my goodness, it's thick in here. Oh. Definitely gotta look for tips when we go to leave from here. See, swamp. Here, I'm walking this way. Oh my goodness. Greg didn't tell me we were going to be doing this. I thought we were going to be in the open.
when I came the last time, I could walk a little bit closer to the creek, and it was a little more open.
Yeah, you can't walk to the creek now. See all that wet? That's all water. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I see an opening. See a little opening. Okay, much better.
Problem, it doesn't last.
Oh man. Ah, it's kind of sloshy around here. That's a big old pine right there. I'll enjoy this a second before I have to go back into the swamp. Okay, got another open area.
Look here, babe.
Oh,
That's what we got.
we got a lion's mane mushroom. Look at there. That's pretty awesome. First one I've seen in all of these videos. There's another one right there.
Yep, I didn't see that one.
Oh my goodness.
That's a big one.
That is a huge one. Look here. Oh, it's so neat. Greg and I take the lion's mane powder every day. It's supposed to be good for your heart, good for your memory, which he needs right there. And there was something else. Heart. I can't remember the other one. That one's a little too high. Let me see. Get to it. Oh, so mushy around here. But this is the area. This is, I swear, the first ones that we have found. That girl, the Appalachian forager, she kind of got me on them. But she's in Kentucky. It's just, yeah, it's just the wet. Oh my, it's a big one. You can dry them out and make them into a powder. And what I'll do is the parts that we don't keep, you can actually put them in trees to get them to grow more.
Yeah, he's putting them in all dead trees.
Yeah, and all dead trees.
So. Cool.
Oh, that's cool. 2 of them. Here in South Carolina. That's awesome. I'm gonna look around for some more. Gonna walk along this bank up here. Still looking for more lion's mane. Pretty awesome to find that. Especially when it's on family land, so that means I can bring it home. There's one of those banks. This one isn't open like all the others that we have gone through the woods. I don't have to worry about the cypress knees tripping me up right down there because there's not any up here. See that swamp. All right, looky here.
Well, we've made it to the old family still. Moonshine still. Still some remnants here. Of course, you got the barrels, the pieces that are still here. Even got the old brick furnace, I guess, or for lack of a better word to call it, where they would prop the barrels on there, heat the barrels, and do the whole still process. I don't know the still process. I was never part of that, but that was prior to me. I know I heard my Aunt Janie talk about stories where my dad was back here working the still, and they knew the revenuers were coming, so they had signals, some type of gunshot signal that they would do. And she talked about the one time he was back here working and they found out the revenuers were coming and gave him the shot signal, and he left the still, and I think the revenuers were chasing him a little bit through the field that was there at that time, and never caught him. He got away from them, but that was, I think, shortly thereafter he got out of the moonshine business. But I think
About what year was that?
This was prior to any of the kids being born, so it was probably back
Early
in the
50s?
Early 50s, yeah. Maybe. He was born in 32, so yeah, it could have been around 1950. I don't know exactly when it was. But a long time ago. But that truly was part of what the family used to do. The Murphys were known for that. I think my mom's family had a little reluctance of my dad marrying into them because of that. So, but that's okay. It turned out okay. He turned out to be a very good man.
Yeah.
Wonderful father, and when he turned his back on this, it was gone. It was behind him. He didn't talk about it, and it was just past history. So.
What kind of bricks are down there that they use?
I don't know.
I'm just wondering if.
I hate to disturb them. So.
Yeah, maybe go to the very end, because I'm curious if it's like the old Charleston bricks. Or...
No, it looks like the cinder blocks that we had found at that one location.
Okay.
And that very possibly could have been one of the stills that the Murphys used as well. So.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I think that's the cinder blocks there. But again, I just, out of reverence, past history, I'd just rather not disturb it.
Yeah, I don't want to disturb it either. I was just wondering, peeling some of it back to look at it.
As you can tell, these barrels have been here for ages. These are heavier gauge barrels than you see today. They're still
pretty
relatively solid where it's not rusted. where it was laying on the ground, it rusted out. But anyway, but that's exactly what this was. But I don't know where we found the other still. It was right at the end of one of these old rice field banks.
One of the old banks there.
I know what you needed for the still was plenty of water, and usually at the end of these banks there was a deep hole, and it held water even in dry times. And
and that looks deep.
Yeah, and this one does. I mean, you can actually fish in that area at times. But there's, again, a network of these banks throughout the national forest, especially here on this end, and we've been hearing a lot of someone doing some studying, and even off of the Wadbu Creek and up that way, they've found plenty. So, so lots of history in South Carolina, lots of history in the national forest.
As you can see, the lion's mane is going home with us. Now I got to do a little bit of research on how to dehydrate them and how long. So I did take some on the way back and tried to inoculate some trees a little bit closer to us, but we left some on the trees that they came from to see if any will grow back. So now we're walking down this path. I'll show you what Greg and his cousins did. I'll let him explain what they did down here and what it was there. You can see you've got water on both sides. Thankfully, this path we do not. Nice and peaceful out here. And here we are. I'll let Greg explain everything about this.
This is.
Did I catch you off guard?
You caught me off guard. I didn't know you wanted me to explain anything about the bridge.
Well, just a little explanation.
Well, this bridge is we just rebuilt it a couple of months ago. Me and a couple of my cousins, and it was a bridge that my dad had put across here years and years ago that he could drive his tractor across. I didn't build this one sturdy enough to drive a tractor across. Maybe a four-wheeler or possibly a golf cart, but this goes to the back side of the property. This is the swamp part of the property that I was talking about earlier. The bank itself has been there for God knows how long. It's part of the bank system from the rice fields and such. So it's been here. We just utilized it for our own purposes, and I'm sure this was some type of trunk or whatever at some point. And this is where they would block off the water and dam off the water. But now we utilize it as a bridge. And it's just something that I felt like I needed to do, and I talked about improving access earlier. This was part of improving access to the property. So now you can get to every inch of our property. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead and go across it. Your water like a stream. Yeah, it's coming down that way. Can't see it, but it's like right there. Yeah. Gotten a lot of rain recently around here. So lots of rain. Supposed to get some more on Tuesday and then again on Friday. So hopefully this won't fill up too much. That's all the way across here. A bunch of water. See, I like how open it is over here as opposed to the jungle over there. So, I don't know if you can see it. About there shows the property line where the Francis Marion National Forest begins. So it goes. There's a property line there. Does it go angled or does it come straight?
It goes pretty much in that general direction there.
Okay, so where you're standing is
Up here, this pine tree is that.
oh, okay.
Here it goes pretty much
Right there.
straight through
And
here.
you can see the sign right there.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's the Francis Marion National Forest right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, everyone. I think that's the end of today's video. We appreciate you guys watching and hope it gave you a little bit more insight of this area. The whole Francis Marion National Forest here in Berkeley County is beautiful, and you know, we've got some beautiful property here.
Yeah, it's nice to kind of invite you a little bit into why I think so much of the National Forest is because we have property right here in the middle of it, and it's just always been like home to me. So I'm just glad to bring you along on that journey.
Yeah. Well, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. We appreciate it. We're new to all of this, so please be patient with us. We're learning.